Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. And whatever platform you're listening to this on, I would appreciate you subscribing. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place, and let's get into this conversation. This woman who was a police officer in the state of Tennessee, she was fired after a scandal with her and several other male police officers in her department. And now she's suing the Tennessee Department of Police for alleging that they were grooming her. So her name is Maeganhall, and she has filed a federal lawsuit and says that her superiors at the lavergnepolicedepartment groomed her for sex and created a hostile workplace. She was fired amid revelations of casual sex among sworn, often on-duty personnel, alleged in a federal lawsuit that she was subjected to sexual grooming at work. Maeganhall, who admitted to investigators that she participated in these liaisons with 4 officers, 2 of whom were her superiors, filed the suit Monday in U.S. District Court in Nashville. Again, like I said, we live in the Sue S.A., all right? It names the city of Lavergne, former police chief Burl Chip Davis, and former sergeants Lewis Powell and Henry Ty McGowan. I'm thinking he's one of the black guys. The suit alleges the defendants deprived Hall of due process and violated federal law against sharing intimate images online and across state lines. Lavergne Mayor Jason Cole launched an internal probe in December after he learned Hall had intimate relationships with other members of the department, according to an outside investigation commissioned by the city. She told superiors about the encounters at the time, according to the external investigation conducted by a law firm. The activity was alleged to have included a hot tub party on a houseboat attended by at least 3 other officers and the sharing of nude photos of Hall and other officers, according to the investigation, the findings of which were included in the suit. Some of the other encounters took place on city property, the investigation found. Howell, Powell, McGowan, and 2 other officers were fired in late December, and 3 others were suspended. Davis was fired in early February after an external investigation concluded he knew what was happening but failed to discipline the officers. The suit alleged Davis tried to have sex with Hall and discussed plans to have sex with her with one of her superiors in text messages. During her employment, Ms. Hall was groomed to engage in sexually exploitative activities by men in the department, including Sergeant Powell, Sergeant McGowan, and Chief Davis. The suit argued Hall was set up and ultimately harmed, both by the intimate interactions and by her subsequent firing, because her work environment was sexually charged. From the beginning of her employment, Ms. Hall experienced a workplace environment permeated with sexual innuendo and sexually explicit behavior. The document lists a number of other alleged incidents that contributed to what it described as a sexually coercive environment, which it said affected Hall's mental health. The suit alleged that male colleagues discussed the attractiveness of women and traded stories about their intimate experiences, that an officer told Hall's superior he wanted to do it with her, and that 2 officers exchanged photos of their genitals in her presence. A superior not named as a defendant said he wanted to see all of Hall's tattoos, including ones covered by clothing, and asked to meet her off duty. Attorney Wesley Clark, who filed the suit on Hall's behalf, did not immediately respond to a request for comment, and a representative of the police union didn't as well. The suit does not specify name damages sought, but said it ultimately seeks lost wages and medical expenses, as well as compensation for the sharing of her nude photos and her emotional distress, mental suffering, and loss of enjoyment of life. After the chief was fired in February, the mayor lamented the scandal. There aren't words to describe the disappointment and frustration felt by myself and other city leaders. Officers are held to a higher standard, even more so is their chief. Listen, I don't know anything about this town, Lavergne, Tennessee. It doesn't sound like a big city. There probably wasn't a whole lot going on there, because I don't even know like how you all have time to just be having hot tub parties and swapping bodies and doing, like, I'm just saying. But here's the thing, I'm not one of these people that's just like support all women no matter what they say, because some people do lie. In this situation, I feel that she did what she wanted to do, because here's the thing, we live in an age right now, this isn't the 80s, the 70s, or maybe even the early 90s, where you can't use devices that you can record or get information so that you can build up a case. You did not have to trade your body and have sex with these people to get the evidence that it was a sexually charged workplace. I believe she did stuff that she wanted to do. And then with several of them, I'm just being honest, I just don't get that this was her being coerced to do these things and she was groomed into this lifestyle of, you know, working at this department and having to do these things that she really didn't want to do, because I don't know how much money she was making. I just don't see the job being worth me being forced or coerced or groomed, as she calls it, to do things with these people. And then she was married. Like, you didn't tell your husband. And so I feel that she probably was in a relationship where she was either sexually frustrated, wasn't happy, what have you, and whatnot, and then just decided that this is, you know, what I want to do. And then when it was found out, now you want to throw other people under the bus and don't want to be held accountable, and you want a big payday. And easy for you to be the victim in the situation, because I'm assuming she's the only female in the situation. I haven't heard about any other women being in the situation at the department, but I'm just saying, I am disgusted by it. I'm just disgusted by it. I don't even really know what else to say. But when I saw this story a day ago or so, I said, you know what? I want to talk about this because, again, just going back to the legal field, when I was a legal assistant, and when I see cases where I feel like, just my opinions, I feel that people are doing the most and they're reaching when they are filing these lawsuits. But we live in the USA. People don't really want to hold themselves responsible or accountable for the decisions that they make. They want to point the blame on everyone else as to why things happen the way that they happen. And in her situation, which I believe it was consensual, because she never, because let's just be honest, she could have came out and said, I never wanted to do anything with these people. I was forced to be in physical relationships with them, so I just laid down and let them have their way. I didn't feel that I was in a place where I could fight, but I didn't want to do it. She didn't come out and say those things. She's saying that they allowed these situations to go on, and she felt that she was being involved in grooming in the workplace, and it was a very sexually charged workplace. Like, these are the things that she's saying. She's not saying that I never wanted to do these things. They did it to me. I was never in a position where I gave them permission. I just let it happen because I was inferior, they were superior, and I was afraid of losing my job. But I didn't do anything that I was willing to do. They forced me to do it. She never said that. She could have. Even if she was lying, she could have said it. And she never said that. So those are the things that stick out to me to make me feel that she's just not wanting to hold herself accountable for the actions that she took, and has regret about the decisions that she's taken. Because even though she's not like that young, she's not that old. She's 26 years old. And for a lot of people, especially in the days and times that we're living in, 26 years old for some people really isn't 26. It's actually younger. I'm not saying she doesn't hold any accountability at all. I actually believe that she should hold accountability, but I believe that she was still very immature as well. So this situation, it's weird, it's crazy, but it's happened, and I guess we'll see what the outcome will be. So I just wanted to talk about it, guys. You let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section respectfully. Thank you so much for liking this video. If you are on YouTube, thank you so much for those who have already subscribed and those who will. I am Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.